6 feet under your yard right now, there is air sitting at 55 degrees Fahrenheit. It does not matter if it is 110 degrees outside. It does not matter if your city is melting. 6 feet down the ground stays at 55 degrees all year round. Summer, winter, forever. And someone figured out how to pump that air directly into your house using nothing but a buried pipe and a small fan that uses less electricity than a light bulb. No refrigerant, no compressor, no monthly bill that makes you want to cry. I am going to show you exactly how it works, why it has been used successfully for decades across Europe and Asia, and why some states in America have quietly made it extremely difficult to build. Stay with me, because this one is going to make you very angry. Here is something nobody teaches you in school. The ground is a giant thermal battery. During winter, the Earth stores heat from the summer months. During summer, it stores the coolness from winter. The temperature 6 feet below the surface stays almost perfectly stable year-round. In most of the continental United States, that stable temperature sits between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on your region. Your house sits on top of this invisible natural air conditioner, and you have been paying hundreds of dollars a month to ignore it. An earth tube, also called a ground cooling tube or earth air heat exchanger, is exactly what it sounds like. A pipe, usually made of PVC or concrete, buried 6 to 8 feet underground. One end opens outside your house to pull in outside air. That air travels through the buried pipe, loses its heat to the surrounding cool soil, and arrives inside your home already cooled by 20 to 30 degrees. A small inline fan, drawing about 50 to 100 watts, is all you need to move that air. That is it. That is the whole system. Now, before you think this sounds too simple to be real, I need to tell you where this technology has already been working quietly for decades. Because once you see this list, you are going to wonder why nobody ever told you about it. Earth tubes are not a new idea. They are not experimental. They are not fringe. The ancient Persians used underground wind catchers called qanats to cool their homes over 3,000 years ago. The same principle. Cool air from underground channeled directly into living spaces. In modern times, the concept was formally studied and documented in the 1970s and 1980s when energy prices spiked and engineers started looking for passive cooling solutions. Germany, Austria, and Switzerland adopted earth tube systems widely in commercial and residential buildings. The famous Zion National Park Visitor Center in Utah uses a version of this system. So does the Manitoba Hydro building in Canada, one of the most energy-efficient office towers ever built. A properly designed earth tube system can reduce cooling loads by 30 to 60%. Some well-documented cases in Europe show buildings running with zero mechanical air conditioning at all during summer months. Zero. The physics is not controversial. Engineers agree it works. The data is public. The systems are sitting in the ground right now in thousands of buildings around the world. So if this technology works, has been proven for decades, costs almost nothing to run, and can cut your cooling bill in half or more, why are some American states making it nearly impossible to install one on your own property? I want you to hear this next part very carefully. The most common objection raised against earth tubes is moisture and air quality. The argument goes like this. If warm, humid air travels through a cool underground pipe, condensation can form inside the pipe. That moisture could theoretically allow mold or bacteria to grow. And if contaminated air gets pumped into your home, that is a health risk. This is a real engineering consideration. It is not fake. And good earth tube designers have solved it completely with sloped drainage, antimicrobial pipe linings, filters at the intake, and UV sterilization at the outlet. But here is what is interesting. Your standard forced air HVAC system also grows mold regularly. Duct cleaning is a billion-dollar industry for exactly that reason. The building codes that make earth tubes difficult to permit do not apply the same scrutiny to the system that already fills your walls. In some states, getting a permit for an earth tube requires engineering sign-offs, soil testing, radon assessments, and inspections that can cost more than the system itself. The result is that homeowners give up. They go back to the store. They buy another AC unit. They sign up for another decade of electricity bills. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern. Now here is the part that actually matters to you right now. Because whether your state makes this easy or hard, there are things you can do starting this weekend to use the exact same principle, some of them requiring zero permits at all. Option 1. A full earth tube system. If you are building a new home or doing a major renovation, this is the time to install one. The pipe goes in before the concrete does. Total material cost for a basic residential system runs between $500 and $2,000. That is a one-time cost compared to $1,500 a year or more in cooling bills. Option 2. A DIY shallow earth tube. In many states, a pipe buried less than 18 inches deep does not require a permit because it is classified the same as an irrigation line. Some homeowners have built functional cooling systems using this approach with corrugated drainage pipe, a small inline fan, and a filter box at the intake. Performance is reduced compared to a deep system, but real-world tests show indoor temperature drops of 8 to 15 degrees on hot days. Option 3. A well water cooling loop. If you have a well on your property, groundwater comes out of the ground at that same stable 55-degree temperature. Running that water through a coil of copper pipe in front of a fan creates a chilled air stream at almost zero cost. Start where your local code allows. But start 6 feet below where you are sitting right now. The ground is 55 degrees. That is not a theory. That is physics. And it has been cooling buildings for 3,000 years before anyone invented a compressor or sent you an electricity bill. The only thing standing between you and free cooling is a pipe, a fan, and the decision to stop paying for something the earth is offering you for nothing. Hit subscribe if this made you look at your yard differently. And drop in the comments, what state are you in and have you ever tried anything like this? I want to know what people are actually building out there. See you in the next one.